那天爸爸去北京，在北京的一个商场，突然的看到了谁了？你猜？乌拉达。哎呀，爸爸突然想起你们两个小时候在三亚。给爸爸打电话，你说我认识一个小女孩，她是俄罗斯的，你以为她是俄罗斯呢？你们两个在三亚吗？我问你干嘛去？你说你们俩要借个什么小艇，你们俩要出海。
我怎么一点都不记得了？
你知道我拉到现在怎么样吗？
The call with my dad really caught me off guard. I hadn't thought about Vlada in years, but suddenly, there she was again, along with all the memories of that summer. We met on a family vacation to Sanya, a city on a tropical island in southern China. Even though we lacked the common language, our friendship still flourished, and we spent the best summer together. After that summer, I left, and we lost touch. But 10 years later, out of curiosity, I looked her up on Instagram, and to my surprise, she was still in China. But I can't stop wondering, where did she end up? What became of her? So I reached out. When we connected over Zoom and started to catch up, she was in Shanghai, but her life looked nothing like what I envisioned. Far from the life of a glamorous model living abroad, Vlada's life seemed riddled with uncertainty.
I hate China. And everything about it. There was nobody to talk with. So I was feeling super sad and super bored. I was crying every day, asking my parents to bring me back to my friends.
Wow, that's strong. You're crying every day? I don't know that.
Yeah, I was crying. Not maybe every day, but
I finally learned that Vlada comes from Ukraine, and in 2013, she moved to China with her family. Now, 12 years have passed, with an unfolding war ravaging their country. Vlada and her family are caught in a limbo between countries, identities, and languages, trying to build a life in a place that never quite became home. And they're not the only ones. The world today is shaped by migration, war, policy, and opportunities. So, what are the unseen challenges of living in between? How do you build a home in a country that never felt like home? And what does belonging even mean when the ground keeps shifting? So, I carried these questions and went back to China to visit Vlada in person.
The train is approaching the terminal station, Shanghai Station.
I traveled from New York to Shanghai. When I met with Vlada in person, I was able to learn more about her. She grew up in Kharkiv. Her father was a businessman, and in 2013, her family was invited by their business partner to move from Ukraine to China. It was a big move, but Vlada's father relocated the entire family. Vlada, her mother, her brother, and her grandparents.
I was alone in Sanya for 5 years, from 10 to 15. I was not always alone, of course. I had my parents and I had a school, but it's not like, I didn't have the best friends to go out and like talk all the time.
You also went to school in Sanya, right?
Yeah, I went to school. I started school after 3 years we lived in Sanya. Everything in Chinese, but the plan was me to just socialize with people. So I didn't pass any exam. I was not doing the homework. I was just coming there, saying hi to people there, and that's it. After 5 years, my mom decided that I should be a model, and I started to travel. Like I went to Beijing, fly to Korea for the contract. I went to Shenzhen, then I went to Shanghai.
Living in China as a teenager, Vlada traveled and made money as a model, while her father established a business in China. Today, Vlada is living in Shanghai, and although she has lived in China for over 10 years, she barely speaks Chinese and socializes mostly with fellow Europeans.
Drinking starts from now.
And here all my friends are mostly from Serbia. I don't like it's happened because I lived with a Serbian girl in one model apartment before, and she introduced me to every Serbian people in town. And then we started to hang out.
So Russian is your mother tongue.
Yeah.
Then when you talk to your friends in, like, for example, in English, do you feel like sometimes you cannot express yourself like correctly?
Like, correctly, fun way maybe. I don't know. I don't think about that because I cannot do anything about that. Like if I cannot express something, I'm gonna just show by my emotions. But it's hard to like speak into languages because even my Russian, like my friends who speak Russian, she told me like something wrong with my brain sometimes. I cannot spell the words correctly, or I'm like missing something, because like my brain it's not multitask. It's working only on one way, and if I'm changing languages so often, then I'm not good in any of them.
This is a common dilemma for multilingual speakers, to be trapped between languages and identities. At one point, you feel insufficient in all the languages you speak, including your mother tongue. And this gets more complicated, like getting a Chinese driver's license and taking the test in English, while your mother tongue is actually Russian.
I'm gonna show you. This. Does it look like a minibus? It doesn't. It looks like a normal car, but they call it minibus. The sign prohibits what kind of vehicle from passing. Minibus. How should I know that?
We don't have any topics to know.
I feel so stupid.
It's not so easy, but it's not that hard. If you don't know a language, like Chinese, it's even more hard because like a lot of staff in China, they don't speak English. It was hard for the first time. When I first time came to the hospital alone, it was lost. I even almost started to cry, like, I don't understand anything, where to go.
Living in China for the past decade hasn't been easy for Vlada or her family, especially her mother, Olya. Like Vlada, she barely speaks Chinese, and it makes every aspect of her life complicated, like going to the hospital. Even after 10 years of living here, Olya still feels overwhelmed. And this feeling started before she even stepped inside a hospital in Beijing.
I will show you. And I know that this is the right hospital. I copied these characters, and then I asked Didi, the taxi, and he go around the hospital, that hospital, and said, it's okay, we're here. I said, no, just around the hospital. I was crazy. I said, no, look at here. But I don't know how it look. It's very difficult to live here without good Chinese. Я не вижу его.
А спросить нельзя?
Я спросила, но туда послала, но люди зарегистрировались, но номер не появляется. I don't have this car, the hospital, from the hospital.
The card that Olya is referring to is a Chinese version of a Medicare card. It can cover a certain amount of hospital visits and medical expenses. However, the card is only available to Chinese citizens. For over a decade, Vlada's family has lived in China on a business visa tied to Vlada's father's company. That means they can stay in the country, but they cannot work without government approval or choose wherever they want to live in China. And in some cases, unable to shop online since numerous services are only for verified Chinese citizens. They've been applying to become permanent residents, but China's strict immigration policy means very few foreigners become legal citizens.
Let's go. Где игрушка? Крош, где игрушка? I ask him, where is your toy? Look at him. Где игрушка? Here.
Vlada's mom Olya was born in the former Soviet Union and moved to Ukraine when she was 18. She never envisioned leaving her home, but after marrying Vlada's father, her future changed. The family stayed in Sanya for more than 8 years. Then, they temporarily moved back to Ukraine when the pandemic struck in 2020, except for Vlada's father. He was locked down in Huailai, a suburb in Hebei province. And this is the town where her parents and grandparents live now. This is Beijing, and Huailai is, a bit that way. Further. Yes, right there. And according to Olya, the city is...
Even no Starbucks. Maybe 1 year ago, here no KFC, just McDonald's. So it's very boring here.
Well, they were back for a year in Ukraine. Vlada went to the same university as her then boyfriend in Kharkiv.
Welcome. Small house, I guess.
Yeah, after you finish putting this together, you put it inside.
So I decided I'm never gonna leave Ukraine anymore. I'm gonna stay forever in Ukraine. We're gonna make kids. I was 17 years old at that time. So I was like, yes, my life is here. I'm gonna live here forever with this guy. I'm in love.
And then what happened?
And then we broke up.
But life had other plans. In 2021, at the end of the pandemic, Vlada and her family moved back to China. Vlada hoped to return to be with her boyfriend.
Мною принято решение о проведении специальной
But
военной...
when Russia invaded Ukraine, Vlada's boyfriend was drafted into the Ukrainian army. And with the war continuing in their home country, Vlada's family does not want to return.
My mom, she doesn't think it's a good idea to go back right now because there's super bad economic and everything, so there's nothing to do. And my dad, he's never gonna come back, I think, because he's already stayed in China for a long time and he's still working, so I don't think he wants to go back.
Not now, because it's dangerous. And this city today, every day, has rockets from Russia. Every day, 3 years. They can sit sitting and eating, and bomb came into their flat. A lot of people died. It's because of Russia.
Maybe my grandma and granddad, they want to go back to Ukraine because it's their home, they're old already, they want to stay in the home, not in other country.
So you hear the boom, boom, boom every day?
Yeah, and now too, and that days maybe first year, because now people used to. Can you imagine that you can use that you every day can have a bomb? Okay, this is Ukraine, you know. This is Ukraine. This is stupid Russia. This is Moscow. This is our Kiev, and we live here with Russia territory very close. And when this Kharkiv, every day I told you, every day we have a rocket here from the start of the war.
Crazy. That's crazy. How are you like after that?
Как у тебя после войны?
Ну как? Никак. Ждем, сидим, ждем конца.
She's waiting for end of this war.
You want to go back to Ukraine one day, right?
Хотите ли вы вернуться в Украину когда-нибудь?
Я хочу.
I want. А ты?
Я тоже хочу. Только в другую Украину, а не в эту.
Какую?
Новую какую-нибудь, послевоенную.
Ну так она же спрашивает.
Even after nearly a decade, Vlada and her family still do not feel fully accepted in China. The war in Ukraine and China's close relationship with Russia have only made things harder for Ukrainians in China. Vlada says her brother was blocked from attending university, and even in modeling, Ukrainians are sometimes turned away.
For example, my brother couldn't went to university because there was so much Russian people, and university was like, we are afraid of the fight, and we cannot take him to the classes. Or like jobs, model jobs, there's requirement like no Russians, Ukrainian, or I saw some screenshot from one model that the agency asked her to change the apartment because one Ukrainian girl was afraid of Russians. These kind of things, you know, like it's like annoying. Like it doesn't supposed to be like that.
And then there's the everyday reality of being a foreigner, especially in a small town in China like Huailai. With only 350,000 people, Vlada's family are the only foreigners in the city. That makes them local celebrities, whether they like it or not.
Yeah. I don't like that when Chinese people stop outside and take photos from me without ask me. Sometimes I want to ask them, I'm not an animal. I can speak, I can feel. I have the same hand. I have, but this is a challenge. That's challenge. When you go out and every day listen. Oh, look, foreigners, 老外, 老外, 老外. Every day I can hear this. Do you know?
Jem, let me teach you 果酱. 果.
在这里给我讲哪里？
听不着是啥呀？要什么呀？
果酱.
果酱这儿呢。
Olya dreams of moving to bigger cities in China with more foreigners.
But I want to move maybe to Beijing or some big city and find a job. But I have to wait for my green card for this job. Cao Mei. It's okay? I can say this. The police officer told me that maybe in 10 months. Maybe.
That's kind of fast, no?
But we were waiting 2 years. Not yet.
Yeah, China is pretty strict when it comes to immigration.
适度区域进行了全方位的升级改造，完善调整技术规范。
The foreign permanent resident ID card, known as 五星卡, or the 5-star card, was introduced in 2004. According to a Chinese survey, in the first decade of the program, only about 7,000 foreigners were granted permanent residency in China. Well, the low number is largely due to the program's high eligibility threshold. Unlike countries built on immigration, China has never been an immigrant country. As a result, green cards are typically reserved for those considered valuable, people who invest significant money. contribute to science or business, or play basketball, like Stefan Marbury.
We did a lot of science for China, so it's more easier. It is good for China, and they really give a lot of opportunities to live here, and that our life will be more comfortable here. So I hope they can give us this green card.
With a green card, the family could work anywhere, move to a bigger city, have medical insurance, and according to Olya, be Chinese. But without a green card, Vlada cannot legally work wherever she wants in China. Even her modeling career has been put on hold.
For now, I'm not doing modeling. Actually, I'm illegal to do modeling here. It's not like I don't have a work visa, and police already told me like twice to stop working.
How did they know like you were working as a model?
They were not searching for it. Somebody just tried to report me.
Why would they do that?
They're getting money from that. Like if you report a model, if you report a foreigner who is working illegal here, you're getting some money, but not that much money to like ruin the life of the person. Well, but it's about my family, so they're gonna cancel visa for all my family if they're gonna notice that I'm working here. So I decided if I cannot work, I'm gonna study. So I made a student visa and I'm gonna study for a year, and then I can, after study, I can, I don't know, apply for the working visa, and let's see, maybe I can work here after, legally.
Vlada was on a family business visa. Since she cannot work legally in China, she switched to a student visa. Now she is studying Chinese at a college in Shanghai and hoping to find a job. Immigration is difficult worldwide. Getting a green card in the US can be just as complicated. International students in the US are typically allowed to work for up to 3 years after graduation under a program called Optional Practical Training, or OPT. After that, they must apply for a highly competitive H-1B work visa. Here's the catch. Only 65,000 H-1B visas are available each year, but over 480,000 people applied this year. It's a lottery, pure luck. And even if selected, the path to a green card can take 6 to 10 more years if a company is even willing to sponsor it. While immigration policies vary by country, uncertainty for immigrants without citizenship is a constant. Some are stuck in legal limbo. This uncertainty includes Vlada's future and her life moving forward.
I feel pressure from my parents. They want me to make a decision right now. Every day they're calling me and asking, "Did you decide what you want to do?"
I want maybe she will go to study market or something else. She doesn't want to. She wants to work. She wants to get married and nothing else, I think.
And I don't like marketing. I don't know. My granddad wants me to work in like continue their business. They want me to continue that, and I'm like, I don't know the math. I cannot even say 2 + 2 what, how much.
I told her that maybe you want to become some doctor, some cosmetologist, and she told me that she doesn't want. So this is her life, and if she doesn't want it, it's up to her.
Like models, almost no one of them know what they want in their life, because we spend all our time to work, have fun, and then in one point you need to decide what you need, and no one knows because nobody was caring about that. You start to care about this only when you get 24, and it's too
因为就是觉得24岁在考虑这件事情，他们就觉得有点太晚了。
的确是，这是很多人面临的一个问题。但我老大他即使学会了中文，他没有中国的绿卡，他又如何找到一个就是他爸爸妈妈所谓的这个非常正式的工作呢？
哎，对了吧，就是布拉德的妈妈还有他外公外婆前段时间刚拿到中国绿卡，因为他外公是帮中国做科研的，算是有特殊贡献的人，所以国家给他批了绿卡，同时他的配偶和女儿也一起拿到了。但是就是布拉德他爸爸和弟弟没有拿到。
那布拉德的妈妈不可以给他的布拉德和他弟弟申请绿卡吗？
不，拿到绿卡权限的人是布拉德的外公，
他妈没有这个权限。
因为他外公的绿卡不包括他女婿和外孙们的申请资格，所以他们剩下的人还在申请的过程中，但不知道什么时候能拿下来。
所以说他们家在中国生活，应该就是很多的不便利吧。而且疫情很不容易。
我也我也觉得就是很不容易的一件事情，但就还好，感觉布拉德还就挺乐观的现在。
Don't plan. Everything gonna be. I just know that everything gonna be good. You know, I just have this feeling like my life is gonna be good. So I don't need to care much about that. Just need to be happy. Enjoy every moment. Live in today, not tomorrow.
Are you afraid of tomorrow? Or?
No. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
She's as bright and confident as I remembered.
We're gonna
Maybe even more.
do a photo
Yeah.
or video.
And maybe I was
photo
wrong back then.
Of
Maybe she was alone.
us
when we were
kids.
But she's still here, still trying. And I hope that one day she and so many other immigrants around the world will find a safe and stable place to call home.